Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and this is day 76 of my making 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on gratitude. So, yay, day 76. I am one day closer to my 100-day goal. Very excited about that. And today I chose to do my video at the end of my day instead of the beginning of my day. I'm not really sure why I decided to do that. It did take me a while to get going this morning, and then I read my scriptures and meditationals, and I got ready for work, and then I went to work, and then I came home from work, and now I'm just like really tired, and I just want to go to bed. And I was like, and I can't because I have to do my video. So then I do what I do a lot of times is I just, for whatever reason, I avoid doing the one thing I need to do, like writing in my journal before I go to bed or making a YouTube video or whatever else it is. I avoid doing it. And then I end up staying up later and avoid getting the sleep that I need. And it just, this is, I don't know why I do that. It's like this cycle I do. And then it's just, but it's just hurting myself, and tonight um, I was working. I actually had a good day working. It actually turned out really well. I had an opportunity. I was talking to somebody about my job, and it was kind of interesting because they were asking about the negative stuff, which of course I'm like, oh yeah, there's this and whatever. And then it kind of popped into my head, but I was like, yeah, but I only have a handful of negative experiences with my job, and all the rest of them are actually really positive. I have all these really good experiences, and I was like, oh wait, I have really good experiences. And I was just really grateful that I could see the positive things. Like the positive things just started jumping out more than the negative things. And I realized that the negative things, I mean, they're the ones that are easy to get focused on and to get stuck on. And somebody did something I didn't appreciate tonight at work, and I got irritated for a few minutes talking to myself about it. And then I realized I'm like, well, there's really nothing I can do about it now. I mean, I've done what I can to clean up the mess. It's done, whatever. I, didn't appreciate it, but I don't know who did it. I can't confront them. I can't talk to them about it. All I could do is clean up the mess. And I mean, it was tiny. It was a little thing. It wasn't a big deal. But I'm grateful that I didn't have to spend all night being irritated with that one little thing, because I could have. I could have let it ruin the whole rest of my night, and I didn't. And so I'm grateful for those little things, those little changes that I'm making, instead of letting little things ruin the rest of my night. Instead of letting, and recognizing the positive things instead of focusing on the negative. Because seriously, I'm like, if I focused on the negative, I'm like, okay, I got a handful of negative experiences with my job, and I have way more positive experiences. But if I focus on the negative, that's what I find. And if I focus on the positive, I am amazed how much more I find, how many more things I can find to be grateful for. And then when I start saying the things that I'm grateful for, my list just gets longer and longer and longer. And it's like, dang, I didn't know I had that many things to be grateful for. This is awesome. And I'm just grateful for all the things that are popping up that I can be grateful for. And I'm grateful for the little subtle changes and the reminder that things are changing in my behavior. And it is subtle, it is little, and sometimes I think I get focused on, I get too focused on what I want my future to be, and I'm not there yet. And it's frustrating. And I had another reminder today that I am the only person standing in my way, because I have another side business I want to start, selling stuff that I'm making. And somebody saw what I made, and they're like, oh, do you have one of those to sell? You should be selling those. And I'm like, yeah, I should be selling those. Yeah, I can make those. Yeah, I have a list of people that want those, and they're kind of back ordered right now because I haven't been making them. And it's just this realization that I'm like, there's a whole market out there, another avenue in which I could be making income, and the only person standing in the way of that is me. The only person that's, because I'm the one that has to do it, and I'm the one that's not doing it. And I was like, oh, it's the same as like writing in my journal and not writing in my journal, or working on my books. If I'm not working on my books, they don't get written. If they don't get written, they can't get published, and then I can't become a published author. So it's just like, oh, And I mean, they're simple little things. They just require time and efforts. And my default setting is to avoid doing the things that are good for me, which is really frustrating to me because it's like once I face those things, once I do whatever it is I'm putting off doing, all the other stuff I'm putting off doing, I mean, all the other stuff falls into place because it just seems like for me in my life, when I put off one thing, it snowballs and I end up putting off everything. But when I take care of the one thing I'm avoiding doing, it also snowballs and all the other stuff that I've been putting off starts getting done. So then I no longer have to be overwhelmed and things start getting done. But I still have that default setting where I'm just like, or that, I don't know, the little whiny, mopey, complaining part of me that just says I'm tired and I don't want to. I'm a little 2-year-old and I'm going to have a tantrum today. And I don't know why I do that. Honestly, I don't. Maybe a lot of not getting my own way. Maybe just a lot of fighting success because I'm still afraid of what the future success would be like. And it just seems kind of scary and overwhelming. And maybe it's because I just make things bigger than they really are, mountains out of molehills. And I forget to trust God and to trust that He has a plan for my life, that I am on the right path, and that things are going to work out the way that they're supposed to. And I can't predict the future. And I have to stop living my life based on my predictions of my limited view of what I think my future will be. And I say limited view because I have no idea. I've never walked down this path before. I've never gone through, followed through, or finished the process of publishing a book before. The fact that I've actually written a book, that I've sent it out to beta readers, that I've actually gotten a response back from someone, yay, finally. Um, these, these are good things, but these are things I've never done before. I did write a book before. I did send it to like my sister and some other people. So I guess technically I have, but I haven't felt as confident or comfortable about my writing before. I haven't been advertising my writing like I'm doing right now with Facebook and my Facebook page, a web page, my YouTube videos. So I have a lot of different formats in which I'm trying to learn. And Twitter, I think I do Twitter too. Tried Instagram, that didn't really work for me. Then they kicked me out because they didn't like me for some reason. And then they said I could get back in, but they lied. So I don't do Instagram. Don't do Instagram. That's all messed up. I don't know what the deal is with that one. But I don't know how to do Instagram anyway. I'm not even sure I know how to do Twitter. So I don't even have anybody following me. I'm like 2 followers, 4 followers, something sad. Random people I don't even know that chose to follow me. I'm like, cool. Of course, I have like 9 subscribers on YouTube. I had 10 and then I got excited about having 10 and then that 10th one just disappeared. So I guess they didn't like that I got excited. I don't know who it was because I can't see. It doesn't tell me who my followers are, subscribers are. It's like, whatever. I guess you have the choice to show or not to show that so people can or can't see that. So I'm like, I have no idea. And the reality is I don't need to know because I'm not doing these, well, I'm doing these videos for myself mostly, but also because I'm hoping that they will help the people, you guys that are watching the videos. So it's kind of a twofold thing, a little bit selfish for me because it helps me to stay focused. It helps me to actually see that I can fulfill a goal, that I can be consistent with myself, that I can make changes. And it's helping me to recognize the subtle little changes that I'm making since I've started doing these gratitude videos, which is really cool to see that. I was talking to a friend tonight about all the little subtle changes that I'm making. So it's really cool. But it also means that, yes, I hope other people will watch these videos. Yes, I hope these are helpful to other people, that it will encourage you to maybe do the same experiment of trying to focus on gratitude for 100 days and see the changes in your own life. Whether you make videos about it, whether you just write about it, whether you just pray about it, however you choose to make your daily list to see how that affects your life and find a way to like track it for 100 days. That would be so cool. So I think it's a good thing. I wish more people would try this because I think it's great. Not easy, definitely not easy, But it's good because it changes my attitude every time, which is why I wish I'd done this morning before I went to work, because I might have had a better attitude tonight because I noticed I was getting kind of ornery. And I'm like, it might be because I haven't written in my journal for a few days, and it might be because I didn't do my YouTube video first. But it doesn't really matter. Um, I know I got lost on my little tangent there, but the point I was meaning to make is that I'm doing these videos because I feel like this is what I need to do for me to promote my books, to be consistent with myself, and that regardless of how successful um, these videos become, or how many people, regardless of how many people watch these videos, I feel like I'm successful because I'm actually making them, because I'm actually following through on a goal. So I'm going to feel good about myself, whether I have 1 follower or 1 million followers. Not that I will ever get 1 million followers. See, that is my crazy writing, fantasy brain that's like, oh, I'm going to be that popular. I've never been that popular in my entire life. I will probably never be that popular in my entire life. And that's okay. But, maybe my books will become that popular. Maybe people will like reading my books, even if they don't like watching my videos, even if they don't want to know about me and my insanity. But my insanity is what has allowed me to create all these stories in my head, and making these videos and facing myself and my emotions is what's allowing me to share my books with the rest of the world, hopefully, and hopefully sooner than later. Um, but it makes me grateful that I can do this, that I can follow through, that I can see the changes in my life. And sometimes I think right now I just get frustrated because I see the person that I want to be. I see the life that I want to have and the things that I want to do in my life. And I feel like it's very attainable. It's just not attainable in the moment. And it's not attainable in the near future. Well, maybe the near future, depending on how you define the near future. Maybe like 5 years from now. Probably not a year from now. It'll probably take at least 3 to 5 years before I can get to where I want to be in my life. Maybe not emotionally, but like physically, like losing weight and being a little bit healthier, financially, being able to get all of that sorted out, debts paid off, credit restored so that I can build a house, whatever. And, that long to get several books out and published so that I can actually be making money as a published author, so that people are aware of my books and that they're buying and reading them. So things like that. And it's really been weighing on my mind that I think maybe the next 100 days I need to focus on just writing. Maybe I know a part of me is like, well, that'll probably be boring. You go like, oh yeah, I wrote today. I wrote today. Can't tell you what it's about, but I wrote today. But but then I'm like, okay, I'm on day 76 and I have come up with something different every single video to be grateful for or to talk about. And I'm sure I've repeated some quotes and some thoughts, some ideas, because they kind of flow from day to day. But there's always something new. There's always something different. They're all a different length. They're all a different idea. They're all something different that I did every single day. So it's not just, oh, hey, I got on here and I listed the same 6 things that I'm grateful for every single day. Because I could totally do that. And that would be a piece of cake. But I don't know how much I would be learning from that. And I don't know how much anyone watching these videos would be learning from that. And somehow I don't think people want to get on and see the same thing 100 days in a row. I'm like, yay, she was grateful for the same things for 100 days. Good for you. That was dumb. So with my writing every single day, I'm not sure how I would do the videos. But it might be just talking about the different books that I'm working on. It might be talking about the revisions that I'm making. It might have something to do with where I'm at in the publishing process with my books. Because I think as long as I'm working on something with regards to writing, revising, rewriting stuff, or just like rereading stuff that I've written to see where I'm at, towards the publishing process, or talking about maybe formatting, how I'm formatting the books, or which book in the series that I'm on. anything that I reviews I get back from beta readers and things like that. So all of that stuff, I have no idea, because I still have, today is day 76. I still have 24 more days of gratitude. And then I have 100 days of writing. And then we'll see what happens. And maybe I will get a book published, or two, or three. I don't know. Because maybe I can write a whole book in 100 days. I've written a whole book in less than that. Um, Maybe I can finally get The Fall of Esping London rewritten in 100 days. That would be cool. But this is more of an intro to my 100 days of writing, and not my gratitude for day 76. So I jump ahead of myself a lot of times, and I think sometimes I get overly excited about what my future is going to be, and then I see where I'm at presently, and I get a little discouraged because I feel like there's this big, huge gap. And I think I saw this thing on Facebook where it shows the person like, this is where I'm at, and it has this big old cliff, kind of like the Grand Canyon sort of a thing. And then on the other side is where I want to be. And then in the middle, it has the words leap of faith. It's just like, you got to take the leap to get to the other side to where you want to be. And I'm like, that's a really long leap. I don't know how long it's going to take to get all the way across to the other side. And it's a lot scary. It's very scary to make that leap. And I know I've mentioned that before, and I think I hit that wall, that barrier, like there's some kind of invisible glass, and I'm like, I can see it, I can see it, I can do it, and smack right into the invisible glass every time. And I'm like, why is that invisible glass there? And sometimes it moves a little bit forward, like I've pushed it a little bit, and I was like, yes, I'm getting somewhere, and now it's stuck. Got to figure out how to get rid of this. Got to figure out how to break down this barrier, because it's like it's see-through. I can see it. I can see myself being able to obtain my goals, and I work towards my goals, and I have really good days, and then I struggle, and I'm just like, oh, not again. It's my back and forth frustration with my life, with myself. But I'm grateful for the encouragement and the ideas, and even people tonight that don't even know me that were like, hey, you should totally sell those things. And I was like, hey, I totally am trying to. And I could totally sell more if I would actually make them, more of them. So, like, you know, so things I need to work on and to do. And if people get that excited about my books, then that would be even better, because that's really what I want to do. And I am grateful for my friend. She messaged me. She liked my list of things that I wrote last night. So she's going to help me make a poster of all of my truths that I need to remind myself about when I'm struggling, and something to make a part of my daily routine where I go through and read all of that and focus on all of my goals for the future, those daily little reminders of what my purpose in life is, what the truths about myself and my relationship to God are, and what my goals are, and the things that I'm grateful for. And I think that would be an excellent way to start my day every day, to remind myself of that. And then I will be less inclined, I hope. This is my hope. I will be less inclined to want to avoid my day and avoid my future, because it will remind me that I'm worth it, that I can do this, that I am doing this, and that I have support and love of friends and family and adopted friends, not adopted friends, adopted family, that are there to help me and encourage me. And the only person that's standing in my way is me. And some days I don't stand in my way at all, and I'm just like, yes, I am free as a bird, and I am letting myself go, and we're going to see where this goes, and we are on this forever, for this ride. We're going to do it, and it's going to be a blast. And then I have other days where I'm just like, can I get off the ride now? I don't feel so good today. So this is my roller coaster, and today is kind of one of those in-between days, because I did start out a little bit slow, and then I felt like I was doing pretty good, and I went to work and things are doing really good, and I am grateful for the amount of money that I made, and everything seems to be falling into place. And I was like, okay, God is making all of this work somehow, even though it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. And then it comes to where I'm like, okay, and now I have to go to bed, and now I have to do my video, and now I have to write in my journal, and I'm just like, and I don't want to. I just kind of want to unwind. I just want to curl into my bed and call it a night and be done. And but I'm not letting myself do that because I want to do the video. And then I just stay up until I'm so tired I can't keep my eyes open. And then I don't actually do what I was waiting to stay up to do, which is journal or whatever. But tonight I did. I did choose to do my video instead of just going to bed because why would I stop when I only have 24 days left? And that is me hitting my little glass wall where I can see the end and it's so close. And hello, I've done 24 days 3 times already, right? Seriously. So another 24 days, piece of cake. Piece of cake. But but that glass wall, that at least it's not a brick wall anymore. It used to be a brick wall and I can't see the other side and I ain't going anywhere and I'm just like, and I'm stuck. So I know I'm not stuck and I can see the other side. It's just trying to, open those glass doors, open that glass wall, break it down, whatever it may be. And then if I do shatter a glass wall, how am I going to get across all those broken shards? But there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? All I know is that God will help me get there. I just have to be willing to persevere. I have to keep fighting for what I want. And He will give me the energy and the strength and the motivation to accomplish it. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I can make these videos. And I really do hope that they are helping other people. But if not, at least I know that they're helpful to me. And, maybe these are like my verbal journal entries for anybody that wants to know what's going on with me. And so there you go. But if you do think it's helpful or you do have suggestions, whatever, feel free to comment, feel free to like, share, subscribe, whatever it is you want to do. Because once again, I know once this video is published on YouTube, it goes out to the world and I have no control over everyone else's responses to my videos or to me. And so this is a self-esteem booster for me, building self-confidence as well, trusting that no matter what other people think, that I'm okay and they can't hurt me. But I mean, I can appreciate the good comments. I can learn maybe from the negative ones. I can look at it and see, is there any truth to that? And if there is, okay, maybe I can make some changes. And if there isn't, then I'm like, don't have to worry about it. And if there is, but I don't care, then I can just be like, okay, you know what, that's great, but that's just who I am. Sorry, just, that's just me. Take it or leave it. I don't know what the answer to that is at this point, but I'm grateful that I don't have any negative backlash with all of this right now. It would make it a lot harder for me. But that's also probably why I haven't followed through with the marketing side of this by, fancying up my thumbnails to try to make my videos a little more attractive. And I've watched videos on how to do stuff like that. I haven't entirely figured out how to do it, but mostly I've just watched videos on how to monetize and stuff, and they talk about all these other things to do, and that's one of them. And I was like, yeah, that's one of those things that I need to do. And there's another glass wall just sitting right there that I just can't. But I know that when I'm ready, when the time is right, that it will work and it will fall into place. And it's in God's timing, not mine. And sometimes I think that's part of my frustration is that I want the instant gratification. I want it right now. And God's like, that's cute, Mitch, but you're not there yet. You've still got some other things you have to learn. You've still got some other things you have to do. And when you're ready, those little barriers are just going to disappear. They're going to dissolve and there won't be anything to worry about. And it will fall into place. And I know from past experience that that's how it works. I just still lack the patience. So I have to have my little reminders. So I'm grateful for my little reminders and I'm grateful for a good day and I'm grateful that I can see the things to be grateful for in my life. And I'm grateful that making these videos is giving me a better attitude, is giving me a better perspective, is helping to change my default settings or my responses. And if nothing else, it's helping me to not stay depressed or discouraged for as long. It's like when those thoughts and feelings pop up, they don't have as much control and they don't last for days at a time. In fact, sometimes they just last for a few minutes or for a few hours, and I can get on with the rest of my day and it doesn't ruin the rest of my day, which is the most amazing thing to me. And I'm grateful to be reminded that I have choices and that I actually am grateful to have choices. I'm grateful that I can see the choices, and sometimes I still choose to go with my old default settings because they're comfortable. They're what I know, and I know what the outcome is going to be. But I'm trying more often to choose the different choice, the gratitude choice, the continue with my day, whatever it may be, choice, regardless of what negative thing may have happened, and to change those default settings, to change my responses. And I feel better, I feel lighter, I feel freer when I make those better choices, when I choose gratitude and positive things versus negative, depressing things. So I'm grateful that I can see the difference, that the differences are becoming more obvious, more black and white, and that my choices are becoming more obvious. I was talking to my friend, and it's like before I started all of this, I don't think I realized how much my thoughts um, had and my feelings had power over me, and how I felt kind of took over, and I couldn't see that I had choices, and I couldn't figure out how to fight what I was feeling, and I just felt like I was losing, fighting a losing battle, and it wasn't worth it. And now I feel like I'm fighting a winning battle, and I am worth it, but it's still a battle. And it's getting me, and it's hard. And some days I'm much more successful at it than others, and some days it feels like it's not a battle at all, and I'm like, oh, this is a piece of cake. And then it's like, and the enemy just came out of nowhere and whacked me in the head, and I got to start over. But I'm grateful I haven't had to start over on my 100 days of focusing on gratitude, that I can make this to 100. I'm going to make it to 100. I got 24 more days left. I think I will be really upset with myself if I don't. And I like being nicer to myself. I like learning how to be more gentle with myself and being more understanding and compassionate with myself about everything that I've been through, that I'm going through, and that I'm learning, and that it's a process. Progress, not perfection, and I don't have to be perfect at this. And it's going to be messy and crazy and all over the place, and I'm still going to have to remember to be grateful for things even after I'm done with these 100 days, because in order to permanently reset my negative default settings, I have to permanently focus on gratitude settings and positive things. So I don't know if it will be a permanent switch at 100 days or if I'm going to have to continue to focus on gratitude. But I'm grateful at this point. I know I have the choices, and as long as I can continue to see the choices, I'm hoping I will continue to choose the positive and the gratitude choices, because that makes all the difference in my attitude. It makes all the difference in how I see the world, how I see myself, how I see other people, how I view my situation. And it makes what seems like intolerable, horrible, frustrating situations seem actually kind of wonderful, or give me something to learn from that will help me to grow to be a better person. Or it helps me to see that, okay, those emotions are just old emotions based on old things that happened to me, and my current situation is actually really good in comparison to what the old feelings are triggered by. And it's like, oh, I just got triggered from something that's not, it's not the same. And it's not as horrible today as I make it out to be. In fact, it's really good, and I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful that I can see that. And I'm very grateful for the shifts that I'm making in these videos. And I'm very grateful that I'm done because I'm very tired and I want to go to bed. And so I hope you all have a great day full of gratitude, and have a good night.